Hello everybody, I'm Leora Sims. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to another episode of my Sims 4 Law and Order SVU series. If you missed any of the previous episodes, please go back and watch them, and please pay attention to the information provided in the description of the video, especially if you or someone you know is in need of help. That's why the information is there. Before I get back into gameplay and storytelling today, I'm going to tell you briefly about a situation that I found myself in during high school. One day, I heard a friend of mine being verbally harassed by a group of boys. I told them to stop, and they were calling my friend names. They called her a name that no woman, and no human being for that matter, should ever be called. So I told them to stop, and that they shouldn't say that, and that she wasn't that. And I went about my business. A few days later, I was working with my friend on a group project, and a boy from that group that had been harassing my friend walked up to me and looked like he wanted to apologize for himself. He told me that he liked me, and he handed me a note. I didn't read the note, but I felt that I should read the note, because I thought that would be the right thing to do. This was a Friday. I read the notes. It was your basic, be my Valentine note. And at the bottom of it was a phone number. On Sunday, I decided to call the phone number because I didn't want to date. I will do another video in the future explaining why I didn't want to date during that time, but I didn't want to date. But I felt that the note was so heartfelt that I should have a conversation with the writer of it. When I called, the boy who I spoke to had no idea who I was. And I became embarrassed because I realized that this was a big prank. So, on Monday, I walked into the classroom with the note. I told my friend what happened, and I made sure to rip up the note in front of the boys that were harassing her and I. I wanted them to see the note being ripped up and thrown into the garbage. When I was throwing the note into the garbage, a boy in the class who had always been nice to me said, "Yo, she read the note. She read the note." And I felt very betrayed because this boy had always been nice to me, and I didn't think that he was part of the prank. And I knew that the boy who gave me the note would never have given me the note without the okay of the group's leader. I knew that he was put up to it. I sat at my desk. We had a substitute teacher. That's important because as the boys insulted me throughout that class, the substitute teacher didn't do anything. And I was verbally defending myself, not using any bad language, just asking them to stop, and looking understandably agitated and upset. And I was told by the substitute teacher that she would send me to the principal. Luckily, there was another adult in the room who wouldn't let her do that because he could hear what was going on. But he did tell me to calm down because he didn't want me to be upset and he didn't want anything to escalate. But it wasn't going to escalate on my part. He was worried because the boy who had ordered the note be given to me was a boy who was about six times my size, and he didn't want this boy to hurt me, and I was interested in verbally defending myself. Now, should I have done that? Sometimes I think not, because I got lucky. He could have really hurt me. He didn't. He was surprised that I was standing up to him. The class ended, and I went home and told my family. One of my family members called the teacher's lounge the next day and got a hold of my teacher, the one who had been out the day before. He was a no-nonsense teacher. He was very kind, very tough, and very funny. So he worked with a lot of at-risk kids. He helped them turn their lives around, and he made sure that they graduated from high school. I was not a part of that group, but I know that he worked with those kids. So when he found out about what had happened, and he didn't know all of the details, because my family member didn't give him many details, but he went after he was tipped off, and he found out about what happened. And when I got to the class that day, he said a few things, and then he excused every girl in the class. There were 3 girls. There was me, my friend, and another very quiet girl. He excused us to the teacher's lounge, gave us a pass, and told us not to come back for the rest of the period, that we had a free period. And I was told by the very quiet girl in the teacher's lounge that I shouldn't have I shouldn't have said anything, that if I didn't say anything, the boys wouldn't have bullied me. And my friend got upset because my friend said she never said anything to them until they started to bully me, and she was defending me. You should also know that before that class started, I was in the hallway, and the boy who was 6 times my size walked up to me and started to ask me how many boyfriends I had. And I was scared, but I couldn't show my fear. So I played along. I told him that I had a boyfriend and that my boyfriend was bigger than he was, and he told me that I was lying. And I said, "Do you really want to find out? And do you really want to take that risk that I could be telling the truth?" I got his friends to laugh at him. I didn't want him to be humiliated. I wanted him to feel remorse for what he did, and I wanted his power to be taken away, because he had power over the younger boys. And the next day, he asked me, the boy who was 6 times my size, he asked me how many children I would like to have. And I said, "You gotta be kidding me." He never ever bullied me after that. He might have felt bad, I'm not sure. And he was amazed that I stood up to him. A few weeks later, my teacher walked up to me and he asked me if there was any problems and if I was being bothered. And he said he didn't want any details. He wasn't going to go into details because I think he felt that the whole ordeal was traumatic to me. And I said, "No, everything's fine." And he said, "You let me know if anything changes." And that was it. I never got bullied by those boys again. I don't know what my teacher said to those boys when I was excused from the classroom. But I do know that it's helpful when you're being bullied to tell an adult. Because you will get an adult who will help you. Eventually, and you just have to hold on, and the bullying will stop in a positive way. I've been bullied many times. I was bullied many times during my childhood, and I know that it can feel like the bullying is never going to end. That you're going to spend your whole life being bullied, but that's not true. You just need to hang in there. And you will become you can become an adult that is strong and that makes this world a better place. But don't ever think that there's no way out of bullying, because there is. And again, you will make this world a better place if you just hold on and understand that the bullying will stop. I'm an adult. I don't get bullied anymore, and I feel that my experiences have made me stronger. I'm not excusing bullying, and I'm not saying that the bullies were so kind for bullying me, but I don't want anyone to give up or to hurt themselves or anyone else because of bullying. You just have to go to the right adults, the right people. You will get the help that you need, even though it seems like you may not. Like I said, I know that it feels sometimes that the bullying will just go on forever, but it won't. And you can emerge from it and be a person who wants to help others and who does help others. I will be back with gameplay. Raphael Barba is feeling very stressed because he's working on a case with Olivia Benson that is bringing up old childhood memories of being bullied. And it was mentioned in an episode of Law and Order SVU that Raphael Barba was bullied. And I believe that he was bullied for being smart in a place where it wasn't cool to be smart. It was cooler to be tough, and Raphael Barba was not tough. He was studious, and he grew up in a very rough neighborhood. And he had a friend that stuck up for him when he was being bullied, and that friend walked him to school every day with his books because the kids used to steal his books from him. And I get the feeling that as a child, Raphael Barba was not the type of child who was physically fit. I get the impression that he felt that he couldn't defend himself in any way. Really. He is going to tell her a dramatic story. Actually, she's telling him a dramatic story. And what else? I want her to discuss his stressed mood. Let's see. Well, I don't see it now. So she's going to express her admiration for him, which she often does. And now she can discuss his stressed mood, and hopefully he won't be stressed after that. And we'll see where we are. Well, she's happy. It says that she's having a pleasant conversation. And sometimes all you need, in my humble opinion, is a pleasant conversation. We can see that he's still tense. Okay, Barbara. I know you're stressed. She's going to invite to stay the night. And she's going to put the bed down. And because she invited him to stay the night, can she assign him this bed? Let's see here. Let's have her see if she can assign the left side of the bed. Oh no. So that didn't work. More choices? No, she's not sleeping with Raphael. Assign right side of bed to Olivia Benson, I guess, because she's the only one, the only adult living here. She's going to ask him about his day. Give him a heartfelt compliment. Get to know him even better. Have a deep conversation. She's going to invite to stay the night is ghosted because he's already spending the night. So she is going to talk about warm temperature, and she's going to be a bit romantic. she is going to, she is going to, she is going to, she is going to offer a massage. And discuss interests. And then she is going to sleep here. Some of the bullying experiences that I had took me a very long time to get over. But eventually I did. And there were times that I thought that I should be over the bullying, and I wasn't. I realized I was over the bullying when I could talk about the bullying without getting upset. But that did take me quite a long time. I want to see what Raphael does when Olivia goes to sleep. Will he go right to bed himself, or will he choose to do something else? Oh, he's putting Noah to bed. Or he's playing with Noah. What is he doing? Yeah, he's putting Noah to bed. How sweet. Aww. Is he getting the parenting skill from that? Looks like he's about ready to go to bed. If he does, after that I'm ending this episode. I could tell by the way he's walking that he's very, very tired. So we'll see where he goes. He can't be leaving. He's staying the night. I bet he comes back. Very soon. I'm ending this episode here, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. Be happy, healthy, and stay safe.